Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Summit Indoor-Outdoor Wall Sconce. This is the large one, the 32047. So there are three sizes of this. Like I said, this is the largest one. We happen to have the smallest one here that we can use as a prop, so you got to get a 360 view of the whole thing, how it's all designed, how parts work. The one we're talking about in this video, the large one, is going to be 34 inches tall. It is 11.1 inches wide, and the projection from the wall coming out is coming out at 8.5. Backplate is 15 inches by 5.5, and your backplate's basically here. So it's going to be 15 inches by 5.5. It's going to go on a standard 4-inch junction box right in the center there. Mounting height is 11.7 inches from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of the box. So I want to show you some more information about that, and a good way to do it is for you to look at the installations instructions right now if you get a chance. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, for this fixture, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. So it's going to show you that you're going to be getting a parts bag. Parts bag is going to be stapled to the inside of the box. It's going to have a universal mounting kit. It's going to have some O-rings. Those are the red ones you can barely see in there. Those are going to slide down over the glass to keep water from getting into the socket, and there's going to be some attachable screws and washers in here too. There's also going to be inside that bag your install sheets, and your install sheets are going to show you some nice detailed drawings of this fixture, and including the back of it. They're going to show you right there how the bulb goes in. And it's going to show you a full parts list, which is right there. See all that? So there's a lot of good information there you should take advantage of. It kind of goes beyond what we're talking about now. It shows you more things before you even get this. You can take the link to that and you can shoot that over to your installer so they get a chance to see everything you have going on. So let's take a quick peek at this guy. Remember, this is the small one. We're talking about a much, much larger one in this video, though. But it's going to have a medium base socket that's going to be hiding down inside of there. It is going to be using, like I said, a 4-inch junction box. It's going to go on the back. Let's see, what else? It's going to be using a diffuser that's going to be on the inside of this, going like that, and that goes right over your bulb. And Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is a pure white glass, lets a lot of light through. The top of this is going to be closed. Very substantial. It's not a light piece of glass, so you don't have to worry about that. The outer glass on this is going to be available in two flavors. So you're going to have a totally clear piece of glass, or you're going to have the sandblasted frosted one. Very pretty piece of glass. Hubbardton does not skimp on glass at all. 14.4 pounds is what you can do as far as the weight on this. And then the recommended bulb is going to be what's called an A15. But I think there's a lot more things you can do. A15 is just a smaller version of the traditional bulb we all grew up with. They're commonly used in like garage door openers and fans, that kind of stuff. But you can put in a T8 as well, and we'll talk about a T8 in just a second. But before we do that, let's kind of touch on people who are in California pulling permits for new construction or renovations. They may ask you to do this, and this is a GU24 socket. So if you've got an inspector coming over to see what you guys have going on in California because you pull permits for something, this is what they might say you have to do. And you can email us and say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a 32047 or the two smaller ones, and I need this to have to be California Title 24 compliant, and we will quote you on this. So don't be afraid to ask. It's free to do that. Okay. So getting back to the ball for a second, you can do a couple things in this. So you could probably do this T8 or a T10. A T10 is about that tall. You can get a ton of light out of these. The T8 bulbs are commonly used in exit signs, so you can get them in every hardware store you walk into because exit signs are everywhere. I have found these up to a 75 watt equivalent. I think I might have spotted one as a 100 watt equivalent on Amazon, but the regular ones I can easily find up to a 60 watt equivalent, and those are going to be places like Ace Hardware, True Value Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon again. That's probably where you're going to end up with finding these. But like I said before, you can get, it's a bigger piece of glass, so you can get more out of this as far as light goes. And even the A15 bulbs I've found commonly at 50 watts incandescent, and you can go up to a 75 incandescent if you still want to in this. They're still around. But if I found those A15 LEDs up to a 75 watt equivalent out there. But these T10s and T8s I found easily up to 100 watts, especially the T10s on Amazon. So don't be afraid to scout around just like I do. Okay, so we'll move on to the color of light coming out of these bulbs, the LEDs. We talk about it in every video. They'll offer these to you in 2700 Kelvin, which is a super yellow light. Could be pretty in this if you're going to be using it around a pool or some other place. But also they offer these to you in daylight, and daylight is, to me, not a pretty light. That's that blue-white light, like a hospital waiting room light, overcast day. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale when you're looking at these bulbs. What I like to use in my showroom is warm white or soft white, and that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. That's the light coming down on my hands like this, and that's what we like to use here because it mimics the light of an incandescent bulb that I grew up with, and it's very pretty. So 3,000 Kelvin would be my choice on this. If you're going to be putting it in a covered porch, you're going to hang out with your friends drinking wine or around the pool, maybe you want to put it on a dimmer, get a dimmable version of this, but other than that, I think you're fine just to go with a standard bulb. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.